Well, good morning. It's almost afternoon. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope so. Hope you can hear me okay. Katie, can you hear me okay? Yeah. IL. Awesome. Man. Oklahoma's really had some trying times, let me tell you. I just feel it's really important that we do always remember how cruel this world can be. You know, many of you might not know, but father of my kids, my ex-husband, he arrested Timothy McVeigh. I remember that day. I remember the day that the bombing happened. I remember the panic. I remember all the friends I lost. All the children that was lost. There's a daycare underneath. I just wanted to take a little bit to go over that. I know it's sad, but I do think we need to take time to do the remembrance. So with that said, I'm going to play a few videos. It's real trying times. See what? Morning. Oh, Lisa. Lost my father 22 years ago. Never gotten better. So sorry. Pray he does live. Everything is just so sad. Really sad. I know many of you are working, so if you have to rewatch later, that's okay, or if you don't want to watch it all. I understand. I too have a hard time watching. So you're not the only one. But I did want to go over it a bit. So with that said, let's see if I can share some videos. I've been watching a few this morning.
Well, today marks 29 years since our city, state, and country changed forever. We pause to remember April 19th, 1995. 168 lives were taken in an act of terrorism here on home soil.
A remembrance ceremony is happening later this morning at the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum. KOCO's Cameron Seibert is live there right now ahead of this event sacred to all Oklahomans.
Yeah, good morning. We join you from the sacred grounds this morning. We're just in front of the field of chairs, all 168 of them lit up this morning on this day. Of course, these 168 chairs representing the men, women, and children who died on April 19th, 1995. At the time, back then, it was the deadliest act of homegrown terrorism in U.S. history. But that day, Oklahomans showed their true colors, not running from the chaos, but instead towards it to try and help one another. The darkest day in Oklahoma City history, and also a reminder of how far the city has come, how Oklahomans responded in the minutes, days, and years after.
In the face of violence and dehumanization, we in Oklahoma City did not abandon democracy, pluralism, unity, or our common humanity. We doubled down on it, and we continue to do so, even as the pressures of political extremism make every effort to pull us apart.
The remembrance ceremony on sacred soil starts at 8:45 this morning. KOCO will have live coverage both on air, online, and on the KOCO app. After the ceremony, families, survivors, and first responders will be invited inside the museum for a private reception. The museum will also be offering free admission for the rest of the day. 29 years later, we remember the lives lost and all of those impacted on April 19th, 1995. Live at the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum, Cameron Seibert, KOCO 5 News.
We come here to remember those at the Oklahoma Water Resources Board building. Trudy Jean Rigney, Robert N. Chipman. We remember those at the Athenian Building Jobs Corps. Catherine Elizabeth Ridley. Anita Christine Hightower. We remember rescue worker Rebecca Needham Anderson.
Damn. So sad.
We remember those killed in the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, United States Secret Service, 9th floor. Alan G. Witcher. Kathy Lynn Seidel. Linda G. McKinney. Mickey B. Maroney. Donald Ray Leonard. Cynthia L. Brown. We remember our friends and family with the Drug Enforcement Administration, 9th floor. Kenneth Glenn McCullough. Carrie Ann and baby Michael James Lenz III. My mother, Rona Lynn Keener Chafee. Carol June Chip Fields. Shelley D. Bland.
We remember those who were killed with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, 8th floor. Clarence Eugene Wilson, Sr. Francis Fran Ann Williams. Michael D. Weaver. David Jack Walker. Jules A. Valdez. Leora Lee Sells. Lanny Lee David Scroggins. Antonio Tony C. Reyes. Dr. George Michael Howard, DVM. Susan Jane Farrell. Kimberly K. Clark. Donald Earl Burns, Sr. David Neil Burkett. Peter R. Avillanoza. My father, Ted L. Allen.
They lost two.
We remember our friends and family with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, 7th floor. Joanne Wittenberg. John Carl Van Ness III. John Thomas Stewart. Terry Smith Reese. Patricia Ann Nix. Betsy J. Beebe McConnell. James A. McCarthy II. Mary Leisure Renty. Teresa Lee Taylor Lauderdale. Anne Kreinberg. Thompson Eugene Jean Hodges Jr. J. Colleen Giles. Linda Louise Florence. Judy J. Fro Fisher. Castine Brooks Hearn Devereaux. Diana Lynn Day. Kim R. Cousins. Andrea Yavette Blanton. Diane E. Hollingsworth Althouse. We remember our friends and family with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, 5th floor. Paul Gregory Beatty Brocksterman.
We remember our friends of the United States Marine Corps recruiting 6th floor. Captain Randolph A. Guzman, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Benjamin Lorenzo Davis, United States Marine Corps. We remember those with the U.S. Customs 5th floor. Claude Arthur Medeiros, Senior Special Agent. Paul D. Ice, Senior Special Agent. We remember our friends and family with the Department of Agriculture, 5th floor. Rita Der Long. Carol Sue Khalil. Doris Adele Higginbottom. Richard Dick Cummins. Dr. Margaret L. Peggy Clark. James E. Bowles, Olin Burl Bloomer. We remember those with the United States Army Recruiting Battalion, 4th floor. Wanda Lee Watkins, Kayla Marie Titsworth, Dolores D. Stratton, my mother, Master Sergeant Victoria Vicky L. Son, John C. Moss III, Peggy Louise Holland, Karen Gist Carr, Sergeant First Class Lola Bolden, United States Army.
We remember our friends and family with the Department of Transportation, Federal Highway, 4th floor. John A. Youngblood. My father, Johnny Allen Wade. Rick L. Tomlin. Michelle A. Reeder. Jerry Lee Parker. Renata Ann Newberry Woodbridge. James K. Martin. Larry James Jones. Michael Carrillo. Mark Allen Bolte. Lucio Allman Jr. We remember our friends and family with the Federal Employees Credit Union, 3rd floor. Teresa Joe Mathis Wharton. Virginia M. Thompson. Victoria Jeanette Texter. Karen Howell Shepard. Sonia Lynn Sanders. Christy Rosas. Claudine Ritter. Jill Diane Randolph. Frankie Ann Merrill. Claudette Duke Meek. Kathy Cagle Lynan. Valerie Joe Kelch. Alvin J. Justice. Christy Yolanda Jenkins. Robin Ann Huff and baby Amber Denise Huff. Linda Colleen Housley. Sheila R. Gigger, driver, and baby Gregory N. Driver II. Jamie Falkowski Genzer. Kathy A. Finley. Kimberly Ruth Burgess. Woodrow Clifford Woody Brady.
We remember our friends and family with the Defense Security Service, 3rd floor. Robert G. Westbury. Larry L. Turner. Norma Jean Johnson. Peter L. DeMaster. Harley Richard Cottingham. We remember our visitor on the 2nd floor, Scott D. Williams. We remember our friends and family from the America's Kids Child Development Center, 2nd floor. Colton Wade Smith. Chase Dalton Smith. Dominique Reve Johnson London. Blake Ryan Kennedy. Wanda Lee Howell. Kevin Lee Gotchel II. Tevin DeAndre Garrett. Tyler Santoy Eves. Brenda Faye Daniels. JC Ray Coyne. Elijah S. Coverdale. Aaron M. Coverdale. My brother, Antonio and Sarah Cooper Jr. Anthony Christopher Cooper II. Dana Leanne Cooper. Zachary Taylor Chavez. Danielle Nicole Bell. Miss Bailey Almond.
We remember our family and friends from the General Services Administration, 1st floor. Michael L. Loudenslager. Stephen Douglas Curry. We remember our friends and family from the Social Security Administration, 1st floor. Sharon Louise Wood Chestnut. W. Stephen Williams. Julie Marie Welch. Robert N. Walker Jr. Luther H. Trainer. LaRue A. Trainer. Michael George Thompson. Charlotte Andrea Lewis Thomas. Emilio Tapia. Eula Lee Mitchell. Derwin W. Miller. Courtney J. McRaven. Reverend Gilbert X. Martinez. Robert Lee Luster Jr. Aurelia Donna Airman First Class Lakeisha Richardson Levy. Raymond Lee Johnson. Jean Nutting Hurlbert, Dr. Charles E. Hurlbert, Thomas Lynn Harthorne Sr., my great uncle Ronald Vernon Harding Sr.,
We continue to remember our friends and family from the Social Security Administration first floor. Cheryl E. Hammond, Ethel L. Griffin, Margaret Betterton Goodson, Laura Jane Garrison, Mary Ann Fritzler, Dawn Fritzler, Ashley Megan Eccles, Catherine Louise Cregan, Gabrion D.L. Bruce, Peachlyn Bradley, my grandmother, Carol Louise Bowers, Cassandra K. Booker, Olita C. Biddy, Paola Battle, Calvin Battle, Sandra G. Sandy Avery,
Sorry about the dog. Somebody's at the door.
Pamela Cleveland Argo, Richard A. Allen, Teresa Antoinette Alexander.
And I have also, you have Mr. Edelman, Dr.
Stop
Edelman
that.
here today.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, it's really sad. Sorry about the dog barking. When I came to the door, they ran him off. Makes everything else. Crazy, huh? Sorry about the dogs. They're clear way away from the room, too. They're just really loud. Finding more videos. Mayor did give a really good speech.
Well, today marks 29 years since our city, state, and country changed forever. We pause to remember April 19th, 1995, 168 lives were taken in an act of terrorism here on home soil.
A remembrance ceremony is happening later this morning at the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum. KOCO's Cameron Seibert is live there right now ahead of this event sacred to all Oklahomans.
Yeah, good morning. We join you from the sacred grounds this morning. We're just in front of the field of chairs. All 168 of them lit up this morning on this day. Of course, these 168 chairs representing the men, women, and children who died on April 19th, 1995. At the time, back then, it was the deadliest act of homegrown terrorism in U.S. history. But that day, Oklahomans showed their true colors, not running from the chaos, but instead towards it to try and help one another. The darkest day in Oklahoma City history, and also a reminder of how far the city has come, how Oklahomans responded in the minutes, days, and years after.
In the face of violence and dehumanization, we in Oklahoma City did not abandon democracy, pluralism, unity, or our common humanity. We doubled down on it, and we continue to do so, even as the pressures of political extremism make every effort to pull us apart.
The Remembrance ceremony on sacred soil starts at 8:45 this morning. KOCO will have live coverage both on air, online, and on the KOCO app. After the ceremony, families, survivors, and first responders will be invited inside the museum for a private reception. The museum will also be op.
One moment, 9:02 a.m. on April 19th, 1995. Oklahoma changed forever. Terror struck the heart of America. Evil tried to tear us apart. Evil took the lives of 168 individuals and injured hundreds more. But we looked evil in the eye and we came together as one Oklahoma. We showed our strength, our resilience, and our courage. Out of the rubble of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building came the Oklahoma Standard. And today, on the 29th anniversary, we recommit ourselves to that standard. Today, we remember the victims, we honor the survivors, and we surround them and their families in our prayers. I have Secretary Blaine Arthur and Secretary Susan Winchester on my heart as well. Dr. Peggy Clark, Blaine's mother and Susan's sister, was working for the U.S. Department of Agriculture on that fateful morning. Secretary Arthur and Secretary Winchester, they honor Dr. Clark's legacy by personifying the Oklahoma Standard. They serve their state and their communities. They help their neighbors, and they carry on the legacy of Dr. Clark in the state that she loved. After this tragedy, neighbors lifted up neighbors. The spirit of generosity invaded our state. Our people banded together in a manner unique to Oklahoma. That legacy lives on, and it lives in each of us that call Oklahoma home. The Oklahoma Standard didn't stop at the borders of our state. It affected the nation. People came from all over to assist in the rescue, recovery, and the rebuilding efforts. The remarkable efforts of local, state, and federal law enforcement, firefighters, search and rescue teams, public and private medical professionals, and thousands of volunteers from across the nation provided comfort and aided our recovery. I'm so grateful to former Governor Frank Keating, who led Oklahoma through our darkest hour. It was the ultimate test of strength, and we're thankful for your leadership. In the aftermath of the attack, I remember New York sending their own firefighters to help Oklahoma City, to help us pick up the pieces. And we repaid that kindness after terror struck our nation once more on 9/11. We showed the world what it means for neighbors to walk with neighbors. Time after time, the people of Oklahoma and this nation prove that evil does not prosper. A few days after this tragedy in 1995, Reverend Billy Graham came to Oklahoma City to share some of his faith with our grieving community. He said, times like this will do one of two things. It will either make us hard and bitter and angry at God, or it will make us tender and open and help us to reach out in faith. It's clear what the people of Oklahoma chose to do. We faced down with evil, and we stood as one Oklahoma. Mourning families preserved, our leaders showed strength, and our pursuit of justice never wavered. 1 Peter 3:9-10 says, "Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult, On the contrary, repay evil with blessing so that you may inherit a blessing. The chapter goes on to say, who is going to harm you if you are eager to do good? Do not fear their threats. Do not be frightened. We stand strong together and we are not afraid. To the families and loved ones of the victims, we offer our prayers of healing and our support today. The legacy of those we lost lives in each one of us who call Oklahoma home. The Oklahoma Standard, that legacy remains alive and well in our state. And as we continue to write Oklahoma's story, we honor the memory of those we lost by living lives filled with purpose, giving all glory to God. Thank you all for being here today. May God bless you and your families, and may God continue to bless the great state of Oklahoma.
The anniversary we mark today and what April
My name is Austin Allen. I'm the son of Ted L. Allen. And my entire family will be participating in the Run to Remember this year. The stories, the memories, the day, everything is in good hands. It's safe. It'll be around for a while, and that's super heartwarming. They're going to be me in the future. They're going to be speaking about their grandfather. That's extremely important to me that they know who he is, as well as the other 167. And the race means everything to us, that people continue to show up, continue to remember, continue to support, and we continue to meet things head on and show that you didn't win. You may have won that battle, we won the war. That's what's most important to me and my family.
My name is Amy Downs, and I was one of the last survivors pulled from the rubble of the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. I worked in the Federal Employees Credit Union office on the 3rd floor, and we lost 18 of our 33 employees.
So that's me.
I fell 3 floors, and there was talk of amputating my leg to get everybody out safely. I'm very fortunate to not only be here, but to have my legs. So when I run, I don't love running. I love that I can run. And I'm grateful. I want to do it in their honor. When the memorial starts and I see the thousands and thousands of runners all day running and the banners and the signs honoring the lives of each person, to me, it's the fulfillment of that promise that we will not forget. I'm going to run the half with my son. Like, what a cool experience. I want him to see how many people come together for good.
My name is Brian Jennings, and I'm a deputy chief with the Oklahoma City Police Department. I was a first responder on April 19th, 1995. You know, when you start picking a place to do your first marathon, what better place than to do it at home and for this wonderful event here and what it means to our community and to me too, personally. I worked the first year of it. I remember thinking that these people are crazy. There's no way I'd run 26 miles. But when you watch them, I actually got tired that day, not from directing traffic, but I got tired from saying, "You're welcome." Because every runner ran by, and they're tired. You can tell they're exhausted, but they all said thank you. Everybody's out there helping each other, encouraging each other along, back on that day too as well, to support the community. We didn't let each other struggle. We didn't let anybody suffer in silence. You know, we came together and helped each other. And when you run, you see that same support from each other.
I know it's very hard on many of us, but the world can be cruel, but the world can be kind too. A lot of things here lately has been being talked about in Oklahoma, but this was the worst event. It's very sad, very dear to my heart. I mean, it's hard to watch. I get it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody took a moment out to remember. Many here might be too young to even know about it. But many lives were lost. God must bless Oklahoma. Now, the next one is going to be kind of rough to watch, but I'm going to play it anyway. I feel like I need to. This is actually what went down. Again, trigger warning. This one's rough. It's really rough to watch. Not very many times that Rock don't have anything to say. This is one of them times. It's really rough for me to even talk about it. It's been so long. But there is evil out there. But there's more good than evil. In Oklahoma, we love Oklahoma. We love everyone. Get back to the love thy neighbor. Help thy neighbor. Yes, Ashley, we are here as a family. I know many are having a tough time today. I know I am. I know I'm not the only one. But some of the chaos, when you see it, it's a lot. It's so sad. So very sad. Again, this is just a 2-minute clip. But I don't know, something compels me to show it. Because many don't realize how bad it was. There was a daycare at the bottom of the building. You know, everybody would love to have their kids at the same place where they work. It changed a lot of things. I don't know of any federal buildings that still do daycare in the same building. I know it's hard. I'm trying to find the mayor's speech. It was pretty good. I don't want to keep showing the pictures of what happened that day, but there is survivor stories. I mean, there is people that made it out alive. We're blessed that they did make it out alive. I'm not trying to upset anybody. Really isn't. I really am not. But it's something that's happened. And we must never forget that there is some evil out there. See how long this one is. I don't think it's real long. It's a survivor story. Ooh, it's a little longer than I thought it was. I'm going to try to find the mayor's speech. It was really good. There's evil everywhere. I agree. I mean, who would have thought that would ever happen? I wouldn't have thought it. Then you get 9/11. I mean, man, there is some evil out there. Find you the mayor's speech. Okay, I found it. Well, it's really flushing out my eye that I had the surgery in, I'll tell you. To anybody, if I triggered you, I was not trying to trigger you at all. Just know that, please.
Dr. Chambers. We as a community are grateful. Thank you, Dr. Chambers. We as a community are grateful for your service and that of your board, volunteers, and donors. Our gratitude as well to the remarkable Carrie Watkins and her remarkable team. Thank you to the governor and all our public officials and guests who have joined us today. Secretary Holland, welcome back to Oklahoma City. Your life, service, and passions are unique inspiration to the people of Oklahoma, especially our thriving and vital Native American and Indigenous community. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we deeply appreciate our longtime partnership with the National Park Service that you oversee. Thank you to everyone who is here today to remember, and those in the media who help us share this ceremony with many thousands more. First of all, as always, on behalf of the people of Oklahoma City, my deepest condolences to those who lost a loved one on April 19, 1995. My empathy for those who survived and were forever changed, and our city's eternal gratitude to our first responders, as well as those who came to our aid from around the nation and the world. On 7 occasions, I have stood at this podium or at the pulpit across the street or in front of the cameras precipitated by a pandemic. Each time, I have explored a common theme. We gather here to remember and honor, but we also gather here to learn and to teach. This has weighed heavy on my heart each of these 7 years, because this is a place where Americans killed Americans. And my time as mayor of this city has coincided with national political vitriol, the likes of which our country has rarely seen. The lessons of April 19th, 1995 were written for such a time. The mission statement of this memorial says, "May all who leave here know the impact of violence." Indeed, violence is what gave us this scar in our downtown. This pool, these chairs, this place are beautiful and peaceful. But we know that a building and a street are supposed to be here. It is a scar that will never fully heal because 29 years ago, a truck pulled up just a few feet from where I stand. Inside were about a dozen plastic barrels filled with an explosive combination of ammonium nitrate, nitromethane, and diesel fuel. Riding alongside those barrels were invisible barrels that have always been present at such moments. Those barrels were filled with hate, intolerance, ignorance, bigotry, conspiracy theories, misinformation, and dehumanization. Inside those barrels was an explosive combination of extreme political views and an arrogant and stubborn unwillingness to accept pluralism, democracy, and compromise. You see, the violence that occurred on this day 29 years ago did not just appear out of thin air. It was not just a chemical reaction. It was the natural and logical byproduct of certain human behaviors. It was the inevitable end of a dark path, and it is a story humans have repeated for centuries. The barrels that carried that toxic stew of human behaviors sat outside the gas chambers at Auschwitz. They rode in the cargo hold on 9/11. They have stowed away with humanity since time began. We cannot seem to lose them. And so we must reckon with them. And this place reminds us to do that. This place and this day reminds us of our obligations as humans, as residents of Oklahoma City. This year is a national election year. That is the ultimate expression of our country's democratic experiment. Our founders knew our flaws as humans, and the Constitution was their antidote, their attempt to provide us a way to settle our differences without violence, through better conversations that lead to nonviolent outcomes. Elections provide us our outlet. Our American democracy is a unique gift in human history, and yet we still feel the presence of those invisible barrels on our TV screens, in the comments, at the dinner table. Words of hate and division and dehumanization. The barrels are creeping closer. This place reminds us that those barrels should be buried like toxic waste. And as mayor of this scarred city, I ask you to bring a shovel. You can't be passive. You didn't ask for this obligation, it was given to you, but it is ours nonetheless. We must each be ambassadors of kindness, peace, love, and understanding, emissaries of better conversations. We must be willing and able to challenge words of dehumanization, words that cast fellow Americans as enemies. The path to violence is paved with such words, and I ask you to step into and repair the breach. I ask this knowing full well it is not always comfortable. Important things are often hard. Standing against division can sometimes be an act of division itself. But between loved ones and friends, that division can be healed. This place reminds us that temporary discomfort is worth it. And sometimes it is not someone else, but we ourselves who need the course correction. Sometimes this reflecting pool acts as a mirror, and we must not look away from its gaze. Why must we do these things this year and every year? Because we come here to remember the alternative to unity and love and respect. The alternative is this. And we don't want more places and more days of remembrance. This should be enough. May Americans pay heed to the lessons of April 19th, 1995, and may we as the people of Oklahoma City always be the first to carry that message. Thank you.
Tomorrow, Oklahoma will pause.
Oh, I know that was hard to watch. Hopefully, is there anybody out there that needs to talk? Are you okay? I wasn't trying to make anybody sad. Just one more thing I want to show you. I won't keep you very long. Let's see here. I will not ever pull up my Facebook. Ever. I know that, let me keep looking, give me just a second, because I saw it earlier. I'm hoping I can pull it up without actually pulling up my Facebook, because again, I will not ever pull up my Facebook. My Facebook's very sacred to me. A minute for that to sink in. I know that Jillian's obituary has been posted on Facebook about 24 minutes ago. I don't know if I can pull it up without. Still seeing with one eye. The other one's really blurry, but I know it'll get better. I can't seem to pull it up without pulling up my Facebook, so I'll just go on it. I really wanted to pull it up for you. Interesting. Now, let me pull out my other phone. And I'll just read it to you. Again. If you're on here and you're using your real name, I highly suggest you change it on YouTube. Make up a name. I like trying to figure them out. But there's some people out there that they don't care. They're gonna just continue to try to make you miserable. It's sad. Oh, here we go. Somebody just sent me something, so maybe I can pull it up that way. Bear with me. Okay, I got it. Took me a little bit to find it, so here we go. You know what? Yeah, I will. After... we'll do it now. Let's see here. I don't want to mess that up since I finally found that, so give me just a second. Hold on. All right. Toby Keith has some good songs he wrote too. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Let's just add this. I purposely found an old one for a reason.
That we can never forget. The bombing of the federal office building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Now that devastating loss of life, that destruction, those heroic attempts at rescue. These are images that are imprinted on our hearts and in our minds. Native Oklahomans, like our next performer, were probably more deeply affected than most.
Yeah, and I picked
because
another
after
one
all,
for a
this
reason.
tragedy visited them in their own backyard. Our next performer has taken those images and set them against powerful news footage of that day and has expressed his feelings in this deeply emotional song.
Holy cow. About a third of the building has been blown away.
One hand reaches out and pulls a lost soul from harm, while 1,000 more go unspoken for. They say, what good have you done? I say just this. It's like whispering a prayer in the fury of a storm, and I hear them say, you'll never change things, and no matter what you do, it's still the same thing. But it's not the world that I am changing. I do this so this world will know that it will not change me. Is this heart still believes that love and mercy still exists, while all the hatred reigns, and so many say that love is all there is. Lands such as this, it's like trying to stop a fire with the moisture from a kiss, and I hear them say, you'll never change things, and no matter what you do, it's still the same. It's not the world that I'm changing. I live so this world will know that it will not change. As long as one heart still holds on, and hope is never really gone. And I never say you'll never change things, and no matter what you do, it's still the same. But it's not the world that I'm changing. I knew this so this world we know never changes me. What I do is so this world will know that it will not change me.
That was a request from somebody, and thank you for the request. Garth Brooks is from Yukon, Oklahoma. I have a house there. Got a lot of family there. Much love to Yukon, Oklahoma, for sure. Much love to everybody in Oklahoma. Oh gosh, I should have finished it because it's crazy. Reba McEntire, another Oklahomian. Toby Keith, another Oklahomian. It's rough. It's rough. I'll be the first in a minute. Okay, I'm going to check and see. We got to pay attention. Always got to pay attention. I'm going to see here if I can change this to where you guys can see it. I have to stop it and add back to the stage. Oops. Remove. Stop screen. Hey, if you only knew how much I've learned in the last 3 weeks with all this, you'd be amazed. Let me say that. Okay, here we go. Robinson Funeral Home. Beloved 39-year-old Jillian Dolores Dalby Kelley went to be with her Heavenly Father on April 14, 2024. She was born on June 3, 1984, to her loving and adored parents, Theodore Joe and Kaylee Ann Chatterton Dalby. Jillian and Heath Whitney Kelley married on October 11, 2002, in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. To this beloved marriage were 4 children: Jalen Grace, Alexis Joanne, Derek Whitney. What is your Chime meeting ID? And Tyler. And this woman in the box over here, she wants to talk. And Tyler Joe. Those who knew Jillian will always remember her alongside her beloved husband. Now, I do want to bring that back up. Let's see if we can visit the obituary. You know, there were some things put on Heath's Facebook yesterday. Telling me he should be thanking the people that was out searching for his wife. I don't need a thank you, okay? And for anybody to go and go to that page and say anything horrible, you're just not a very good person. I mean, there's such a thing as trolling, and there's such a thing as just not being a very good person. Still getting that sand out of my lungs. Here we go. I'm going to read the whole thing again. Beloved 39-year-old Jillian Dolores Dalby Kelley went to be with her Heavenly Father on April 14, 2024. She was born on June 3, 1984. To her loving and adored parents, Theodore Joe and Kelly Ann Chatterton Dalby. Jillian and Heath Whitney Kelley married on October 11, 2002 in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. To this beloved marriage were 4 children: Jalen Grace, Alexis Joanne, Derek Whitney, and Tyler Joe. Got this itch in my throat. Those who knew Jillian will always remember her alongside her beloved husband Heath and their 4 cherished children. Her father was her pride and joy, and her unwavering love for them knew no bounds. A devoted wife and mother, Jillian's gentle soul and pure heart were unparalleled. Her presence radiated warmth, making everyone feel valued and loved her midst. Jillian led a life dedicated to her faith and service to others as a devoted Christian woman and a pastor's wife. She filled the role of the First Christian Church of Hugoton's secretary with grace and compassion. Jillian's influence extended to the younger generation through her leadership at Wednesday Night Olympian and Gopher Buddies Children's Church, where she nurtured the spiritual growth of the children and guided them in their relationship with the Lord. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. Yeah, you are seeing it. I'll just keep reading it. Beyond her roles within the church and her family life, Jillian found joy in simple pleasures. Whether traveling with Heath and their children, cheering on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, or feeling the exhilaration of her riding her hot rod motorcycle. Jillian lived life with an infectious smile that brightened the world around her. Her proudest accomplishments were not found in accolades or recognition, but in the love she shared with her family. Attending every sporting event for her children at Hugoton Middle School and High School exemplified her unwavering support and dedication as a mother. As we mourn the loss of Jillian on earth, we find solace in knowing that she will greet us in heaven when our time comes to an end here on earth. While our hearts ache with grief, we also celebrate the beautiful life that she lived. Jillian leaves behind a circle of love that extends far beyond her immediate family. She is survived by her adoring husband, Heath Kelley, daughters Jalen and Alexis Kelley, sons Derek and Tyler Kelley, father and mother, Ted and Kaylee Dalby. Hope I didn't butcher that name, Dalby. Brother Chad Dalby, sister Rachel Worcester, and husband Curtis. Mother-in-law Carol Kelley, father-in-law Max Kelley, sister-in-law Jessie Scripter, and Hillary Kennedy, and husband Rudy. Nieces Lachey, Hannah, nephews Eli, Micah, Alex, as well as many other relatives and friends whose lives she touched with her laughter and radiant smile. She was preceded in death by her maternal and paternal grandparents. A memorial has been established for the First Christian Church of Hugoton, a Willow Christian Church of Indianola, Nebraska. Whomever you choose for your contribution, the money will be spent on one of Jillian's favorite pastimes, having children grow in their relationship with Jesus. Memorials are in care of Robinson Funeral Home. P.O. Box 236, Hugoton, Kansas 67951. Whew, this is hard to read. Book signing services will be held on Sunday, April 28th, 2024, from 3 to 6 p.m., and Monday, April 29th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Robinson Funeral Home, Hugoton. Celebration of life service will be held on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, at 10 a.m. at First Christian Church of Hugoton. Family and friends are encouraged to wear yellow to the service. In honoring Jillian's memory, let us carry forward the light she shared with us all, a light fueled by love, kindness, warmth, and unwavering faith. Though she may no longer walk among us, her spirit will forever dwell in our hearts. May we find comfort in each other as we bid farewell to a remarkable soul who left an incredible mark on all who had the privilege of knowing her. That had come up, and I know many. Oh, yeah, I'll be okay. It's sad. It's a sad world sometimes, so. Well, I'm sure that they put that as the date of death because that's the day they found them. So, or the day Granny. Like, I don't know. But that is the date they put. Yeah. Prayers for her family and her friends. I know she's got some very dear friends on here. I know this had to be hard for them. Like I said, this was just released not too long ago. So I wanted to share it. I will definitely be there. I was going to look at my calendar because I'll be there a couple days. I will have to leave on that Tuesday, April 30th. Because believe it or not, May 1st is my next scheduled appointment for my other eye to get the cataract removed. So, but I plan on, but listen, there's good people in Hugoton. There's good people down there, even in the Oklahoma Panhandle. You know, I want to make sure I make it clear. I didn't find any bad people. I mean, I heard of bad people, but as far as, running my job in my heart was to find the missing ladies, Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelley. The rest is up to the judicial system to take care of it. I would like to say, anytime there's a court date, there's one coming May 15th. If you got the time, I think your presence should be known. Man, I have a lot of faith in the judicial system. Sometimes don't seem to work the way I feel they should work. That's not meaning I'm always right. But if you had to have a chance, I'd love for you to join me at these court hearings. We need to let them know we are not going to let things slide. Just not going to do it. I know the tears are rough. They're real rough. I said that last week when I got home and my granddaughter had called and said, "Grandma, I haven't seen you in a year." She's 4. I said, "Oh, no, it's not been a year." "Oh, it's been a year." I mean, it's just really hard. There's a lot of kids, 6 of them, that's never going to get to hug their moms again. Family members that's not going to be able to hug them again. It's a cruel world. I don't want to ruin everybody's Friday. It was asked for the celebration of life for you to wear yellow. So hopefully we see a yellow. I know many, many will show up for that celebration of life. And again, if you do have time when the court comes up, I think we need to show up as many as we can and let them know we're not going to let this go. That we're watching and we're going to make sure that everyone. Now, I would like to invite anybody up on StreamYard that wants to come up to talk about the Oklahoma City bombing. Or if you want to come up and talk, since Julian's release of her obituary is out. I have no problem if someone wants to come up and give a prayer. So I'm looking at the chat, trying to make sure everybody's okay. I know this is just really a sad day. Not only is it the Oklahoma City bombing memorial, it's also a day that they put out Jillian's obituary. So if you didn't catch it, her celebration of life is going to be, can read that to you one more time, and I will cut it down and put it on the community page. They're going to have a book signing ceremony type thing, April 28th, 2024 from 3 to 6 p.m. and Monday, April 29th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. The celebration of life service will be held on Tuesday, April 30th at 10 a.m. So I'll just probably go down there for the whole time. I want to pull something up real quick. I want to make sure that I get this before you guys, before I let anybody go. Hold on a second. I hope everybody has a good weekend. It's been rough couple weeks. The days are rough time for Oklahomians and around the world. All we can do is do better. I say that all the time. You want to help the world, do better. Be the best person that you can be. Then you know you did things right. You can only do your best. And please, please, do not bother Jillian's family, her husband, or any of them. Like, I can't ask that enough. I mean, it's one thing to troll, but Lordy, give these people a break. Okay. I was trying to send that to my community page. I don't know if I can, but I will make sure I get it on there. I want to make sure I get it in full on there. That's the thing. Let's see if this will work. Because I'll show you how to find it, because many will go, man, Rock, I missed that. How do I find that again? Okay. I think I got it. We're going to go try it to make sure that I did get it. Let's see. Veronica's memorial service was yet to be determined as of yesterday. Oh, and it will be private? Oh. Well, I'd planned on going to that. But, Ellie, thank you for letting me know. Are you part of the family, Ellie? Because if you are, I want you to tell them my condolences. You'll know how much this weighs on me. It's a lot. Yes, prayers on this day of remembrance for OKC victims and Jillian and Veronica's families. Love you all. I need to run. Yeah, I mean, you're a family to us. You really are. Let me see here if I can show you how to get to the community page just in case you haven't did it ever. Okay, so we'll just go here. I'll just pull it. I'll just do YouTube here. Okay, go back to YouTube. Okay, if you're subscribed to the channel, it's real easy. But you just click on, you just go to my channel, see the community page. You click on it. I wanted to get it on here before I got off, but if you go to the community page and you click here, there you go. It'll show you, and I'll go edit it. I just wanted to get it out there that it's Jillian's. I'll edit it right now just so I don't confuse anyone. Believe me, I get confused by myself. I don't need to be confusing the other ones. I know this is a real hard time for her whole family. I still don't know if her husband's out of the hospital yet. But he's in my prayers. I think of both families often. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I kicked myself right out. Good morning, everyone. I'm traveling through Hugoton and Guyman today. We'll be stopping for a moment of silence and prayer. Oh, Helena, that's very nice. The people are very sweet. Very, very sweet. Thank you. From the whole Rock Jock community here. You're a part of it. We all feel their pain. We was hoping for much better news. It's okay to be late. There's always a replay if you want to. I'm trying to read in chat. I don't want anybody leaving here sad or alone. Maybe many of you hit me up on my cell phone. You're still welcome to do that. Yeah, let's see here. Not everybody has the same taste in music, but I'm going to end this with someone I enjoy. I knew his driver. Knew this guy for a very long time. He used to play in Hutchinson, Kansas. You'll know when you see him. I'll just say that. So as you're on your way out, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, it's up to you. I suggest you subscribe. Reason being is, for one, when you subscribe, you can hit that bell, and anytime we go live, you'll be able to see it. But I am gonna play some. You might not like my taste in music, but on your way out, yeah, I agree. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay. Absolutely. So as we're winding down this show, I'm just gonna share one more song on the way out. Hopefully, I don't offend anybody, but Toby Keith did pass. Very good guy. Really gets people fired up. He was a loving American. He loved our troops. He loved it all. So I'm gonna leave on this note, and you guys can stick around and chat if you want to. Thank you for joining us. Hope I didn't ruin anybody's day, but I felt like it was something that needed to be discussed.